Hey scrapbookers and crafters, it's Michelle Sizemore here. I'm a Creative Memories Advisor, and today you'll learn how to make this layout using our new 2025 papers for fall. We have two collections that I'm combining. It's one collection, but two paper packs. So this is the Grateful Harvest Tone on Tone paper pack. So beautiful. It's flat on one side and a tone on tone on the other with just like a different versions of the same color, kind of a monochromatic. That is this yellow paper. It came from right here. And this pack is the Grateful Harvest Designer Pack, and I use this pretty leaf paper from that. Okay, I'm going to set these two aside. And I also used hot fudge cardstock. That's the color of it. I used Spargo ruled paper, which is something we don't sell anymore. We have white, but I'll show you how you can get the same look by making a couple changes. And I used this from the matte pack, the variety matte pack that goes with Grateful Harvest. Okay, so let's set this aside and get started. This is everything I used. Okay, so we're going to start. This is the background, and I'm not going to do anything to it. Now, I'm going to use this whole sheet, but you can watch some of my other videos, and oftentimes you will see that I have gutted it and cut out a square from in here. Just to save time today, I'm not going to do that, but if you cut out a square of the middle, you can save it for another project, and then you can just use the frame and mount on top of it. But for today, just to be quick, we're going to use the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. I want to cut my brown cardstock. I've given myself some cheat sheets here with my Post-its. 10 3/4 by 10 3/4. So I'm going to open up the arm of my trimmer. Make sure my little foot is open, so that way the extension is level with the trimmer. Okay, and I'm going to cut this to 10 3/4 by 10 3/4, which means I'm going to cut two sides of it. One side I'm going to measure to 10 3/4, which is right. So this is 10, 10 and a half, 10 3/4, that long little line right there. Make sure it's straight all the way across. Cut that, save this to do a border or something with later. Flip it to the left one time. Line it up with the 10 3/4 mark. Make sure it's straight all the way at the top. And cut. Okay, now I will mount this on top of this and center it. So I'm going to grab a tape runner. I always use the repositionable tape runner for crafting. It's just my favorite. And I'm going to add little dabs, about 4 dabs on each side. I'm going to get quicker. You can, and then just add a few dabs in the middle to make sure it sticks. And then I'm going to center it the best I can just by looking at it. You could measure to center, but I just look at it. And the great thing about using repositionable is if I don't get it perfect, I can always pick it up and move it while I'm crafting this page. Now, over time, it settles down, and you wouldn't do that, but I could do that right now. Okay, and then I want to cut this. I love this yellow paper. I'm going to cut this to 10 1/2 by 10 1/2. Here's the 10 1/2 mark right there. So place the edge there and make sure it's straight all the way across the top. Make sure I hold it down. Close and cut with a straight blade. Flip it one time to the left. Measure it at the 10 1/2 mark again. Line it up at the top, hold it down, and cut. I would save these for another project. I kind of keep a tray over here. It's the lid off of one of the boxes I store stuff in. And I just keep kind of put all my scraps in here that I don't throw away, and then I'll file them away later. It's good to keep it like you can put it down at the bottom of your table and just scoop scraps into it. It's just a good way to take care of your scraps. Okay, so we'll set this aside for now. I'm going to remove my Post-it note. And I want to mount this here so that there's just a skinny frame with that Hot Fudge cardstock. And just do the same, about 4 little dabs, not big ones, of tape runner on every edge. You don't want to go all the way down because you would waste it really fast, and then you'd be calling me for new tape runner way faster than you would need to. So I'm just going to put 3 dabs in the middle. Okay, maybe 1 more. That's about how I do it. Okay, so now I'm going to try to center this on the brown, or the Hot Fudge is what it's called, so that about the same amount shows all the way around, just to kind of create a skinny matte look. I like that. And then remove my Post-it. And I just want to rub this all really well once I have it exactly where I want it. And I do see that it's y'all may not notice it, but it's a little bit slanted. I rubbed it too fast. Okay, so another reason why I like repositionable, I can pick it up and move it. Okay, I think that's okay. All right, so now I'm going to rub it, make sure everything's stuck down really well. Maybe rub my edges a little bit better. Okay, the rest is so easy. I mean, it's all easy. So this is the card that came in the Variety Matte Pack. But as you can see, I cut it down to make sure it would fit. So I drew my pencil lines here, but basically what I did is cut 1 inch off the top and 1 inch off the bottom. Grab my trimmer. Line it up at the 1 inch mark right here. 1 inch. Make sure it's straight at the top. Hold it down firm. Close it. And make sure my my line is going to match up with my pencil line. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's do it here. I'm good with that. So now I have it. And I think I cut a little more than 1 inch off. Sorry, I did. I'm going to cut a tad more off. It's more like 1.25 inches. Okay, so it's hard to see my pencil lines because it's on brown paper. Yeah, I would cut just a little bit more than 1 inch. Just a little. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so that would go right here. And then I would add my photos. I put the measurements of the photos, 5 by 4, so it's basically a 4 by 6 photo that I cut 1 inch off of one side. 5.5 by 4, a little bit wider, and 4 by 5.5. So I'm not going to do all of that, but you would just measure and cut those sides. You could use this, or you could use your photo trimmer. And then I cut a piece of this ruled paper to 5.5 inches wide by 1 1/4 inches tall. So let's do that. Okay, I'm going to open my arm. 5.5 inches, that 5.5 inch mark is right there, like right where that crease is. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. So I'm going to, I need a bigger piece. Okay, yeah, let me grab that. Yeah, that's better. This is Spargo colored, so 5.5 inches. Yeah, this is good. That piece was too small. So I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to flip it one way and cut it to 1 1/4 inches. Let's do that over here. 1 inch is there, and 1/4 is there. Make sure it's straight at the top, and cut. I always like to write on ruled paper because my writing goes uphill, and that's why. So I would put that right here. Now, let me tell you, creative memories, we used to have natural Spargo and white in a ruled paper. Now we just have white, and it would be fine to put white, but I wanted to put kind of a more natural look since this is a fall page. But you can't buy that anymore. So if you don't have any, what I would suggest you do, I got this template from, I got it from Amazon, and I just typed in ruled template or template with lines or something like that. So what I would do, I would basically just take a piece of whatever color cardstock or paper you want to use and draw some really faint pencil lines using these lines, and then cut it to the size that I just told you to cut, and then you could make a journal box out of any color. So this is very handy. It's also very thick. It's very sturdy template. You could probably buy it at a craft store too, but I just ordered it on Amazon. So anyway, that's basically how you would make this page, and this is the end result. Of course, I would add my pictures here. Easy breezy, and I think it's really pretty. Thanks for watching my video. I hope y'all have a wonderful fall and a great rest of the day. Today's Friday, so I hope you have a great weekend too. Okay, bye.